unpublished cases where humans had been injured after anomalous encounters. ATIP was a secretive Pentagon program that ran between 2007 and 2012 to study UFOs. It was outed by former intelligence officer turned whistleblower Luis Elizondo, who headed the program back in 2017. Bombshell videos of unexplained UFO sightings by U.S. military personnel investigated by ATIP were also first published at the time. The revelations of the program marked a step change in the way the U.S. talks about UFOs, now more commonly known as UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. And the phenomena have stepped up from the fringe into a serious national security concern discussed by lawmakers, defense officials, even former presidents, Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. One fascinating document included in an acquisition threat support report sets out on how to categorize anomalous behavior. And it even lists encounters with, get this, ghosts, yetis, spirits, elves, and other mythical, legendary entities. They've classified these as AN3. They've classified all this stuff into different categories. Seeing a UFO with aliens on board, they classify that as a CE3. So it goes from important to more important. But think about that. Ghosts, yetis, spirits, and elves are included in this report. They're even talking about those, saying, yep, they're out there. We need to look at them closer. Poltergeists, crop circles, spontaneous human combustion, alien abductions, and other paranormal events are also categorized. Studies into advanced technologies such as invisibility checks, cloaking, mind-controlled robots are also included in the document cache. Other documents obtained include studies into communicating with alien civilizations and plans for deep space exploration and colonization. The slew of newly released documents contains letters from Senator Harry Reid, who asks for the project to be classified as top secret, and documents about contractors. It shows how a contract was awarded to Bigelow Aerospace Advanced Space Studies for $12 million. Notably, that was the only contractor who had bid for the work, and they wanted them to study the advanced aerospace weapon threats from the present out to 40 years in the future. In one 2009 letter, Senator Reid described how the program had already identified several highly sensitive, unconventional aerospace technologies which required extraordinary protection. His request for restricted special access program from BLAST, that was the aerospace study program, that work was rejected by DIA officials back then. Now, last year, the Pentagon released its long-awaited report into what it knows about a series of mysterious flying objects that have been observed by military airspaces over the last 2 decades. We talked about that in detail. The report, released on the website of the Office of the Director for National Intelligence, examined 144 reports encountered with what government deemed as unidentified aerial phenomenon. It comes as the Pentagon is opening a new office to investigate UFOs, their origins, and attempts to capture or exploit one of the mysterious aircraft after an amendment to the defense bill was tabled in the U.S. Senate. Now, the dedicated unit is called the Anomaly Surveillance and Resolution Office. It will probe whether or not the strange craft that have been reported buzzing the U.S. military are unknown technology from Russia or China, or potentially something more alien. That's the report from the UK Sun. Part 2 of this essay is going to be the actual letter written by Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, and it was dated June 24th, 2009. And the letter was addressed to the Honorable William Lynn III, who's the Deputy Secretary of Defense. The letter reads verbatim, Dear Secretary Lynn, beginning this past September, the U.S. Senate has mandated that the Defense Intelligence Agency assess far-term foreign advanced aerospace threats to the United States. The scope of our program interest covers from the present out to 40 years and beyond. In order to further our effort in recognizing emerging disruptive aerospace technologies, technical studies are being conducted in regards to advanced lift, propulsion, and the use of unconventional materials and controls, signature reduction, weaponry, human interface, and human effects. Since the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, ATIP, and study were first commissioned, much progress has been made with the identification of several highly sensitive, unconventional aerospace-related findings. Given the current rate of success, the continued study of these subjects will likely lead to technology advancements that in the immediate near term will require extraordinary protection. Due to the sensitivities of the information surrounding the aspects of this program, I require your assistance in establishing the Restricted Special Access Program with a bigoted access list for specific portions of ATIP. And the Special Access Program is called SAP, Special Access Program. In order to support this national effort, a small but highly specialized cadre of Department of Defense and private sector individuals are necessary. These individuals must be specialized in These individuals must be specialized in the areas of advanced sciences, sensors, intelligence and counterintelligence, and advanced aerospace engineering. Given the likelihood that these technologies will be applied to future systems involving spaceflight, weapons, communications, and propulsion, the standard management and safeguarding procedures for classified information are not sufficient. Even the use of conventional SAP protocols will not adequately ensure that all aspects of the project are properly secured. Although not every aspect of ATIP requires restricted SAP read-on, the following portions should be maintained at a restricted SAP level. This addresses the methodology used to identify, acquire, study, and engineer the advanced technologies associated with ATIP. Special methodologies used to study unconventional technologies may require nuances approached that will undoubtedly be of significant interest, if not a top priority, for adversarial foreign intelligence security services. Undue attention by government or private sector entities not involved in ATIP or any international interest will be directly or indirectly or directly interfere with the daily ATIP mission and perhaps threaten the overall success of the program. In other words, this has to be kept secret. Under the heading of allocation of personnel support and oversight. Due to the highly specialized nature of the personnel involved with ATIP, the overt acknowledgement of their participation in the program will lead to an unnecessary security and counterintelligence risk. In other words, we got to keep it secret, folks. We have to deny it. Occasional assistance from specialized individuals within the Department of Defense, the scientific community, or academia may be necessary from time to time based on demonstrated subject matter expertise. Adequate protection to their identities or affiliation is critical to avoid unnecessary scrutiny. Without the approval, restricted SAP protection, the cost associated with a compromise would be significantly higher than the cost associated with a properly administered restricted SAP. Protection of industry partnerships and participation is critical. Public awareness of an industry's ATIP affiliation may discourage the industry's further participation with the U.S. government in this program. Again, got to keep it secret. We have to deny everything. Under the heading of application and engineering, the nuanced manner in which some of these technologies will be collected, engineered, and applied by the U.S. may require senior-level government approval. These decision makers must be afforded the necessary time to make strategic decisions by restricting access to the big picture or overall intent of the program to those on a strict, bigoted list. Associated exotic technologies likely involve extremely sophisticated concepts within the world of quantum mechanics, nuclear science, electromagnetic theory, gravitics, and thermodynamics. Given all of these have the potential to be used with catastrophic effects by adversaries, an unusually high degree of operational security and read-on discretion is required. Due to the expertise required to carry out the objectives of this program, we will require a small, specialized group of Department of Defense personnel who are dedicated to performing the SAP-related functions and executing programmatic requirements within the program. It is essential that the government and military personnel who are already involved in this program are assigned to further support this program in a restricted SAP capacity. These individuals all currently possess the appropriate security clearances and are already providing unique support to ATIP. Ultimately, the results of ATIP will not only benefit the U.S. government, but I believe will directly benefit the Department of Defense in ways not yet imagined. The technological insight and capability gained will provide the U.S. with a distinct advantage over any foreign threats and allow the U.S. to maintain its preeminence as a world leader. Thank you in advance for your time and consideration on this request. If you have any questions, please contact Bob Herbert or of my staff and his phone number is listed. Sincerely, Harry Reid, United States Senate. And copied on this, actually listed as the preliminary bigoted list of government personnel. There are 11 names. All are redacted, but 4. Those included are the Honorable William Lynn, the Deputy Secretary of Defense, to whom this letter is addressed, the Honorable Harry Reid, the guy who wrote the letter, the Honorable Senator Daniel Inouye of Hawaii, and Special Agent Luis Elizondo, USDI. Preliminary bigoted list of contractor personnel funded under ATIP, they're all redacted, with the exception of one, Dr. Hal Putoff. Now, he was associated with Bigelow Aerospace. Other than that, the others are redacted. This, my friends, dear listeners, is a huge document. It's a huge deal. This is basically the U.S. government admitting, okay, look, there's stuff out there. We got to know what it is. We got to know where it's coming from because we have to capture this for our own national security. Oh, and by the way, we have to deny that any of this is even being looked at. Now, the one piece out of this whole nut roll that bothers me a bit is Luis Elizondo. Now, 100% what this guy was saying, I believe, is true. Everything he said that he did for the government, everything that was involved with ATIP, all of this, I believe him. Once upon a time, maybe I didn't, but this letter confirms everything that Luis Elizondo said he did, that he was in charge of, this program was all about. It was the real deal. Now you say to yourself, well, Strong, why does that bother you? Because if you read this letter by Harry Reid, he said, look, this is a big deal. This is a huge security issue. If anybody finds out about this, it could be a big national security issue. and Elizondo ran his mouth anyway.